Right, we're going to have a look at this question to help us understand how ratio works and why we'd use it. So your friend's mum offers you and your friend Bob £30 between you for painting her lounge for her. You arrive at Bob's house at 10 AM keen to get started and earn some money. However, Bob's still in bed. You work for 2 hours before he gets up to help. You then both work for another 2 hours until the lounge is finished at 2 PM. Bob insists on £15 as he did half the work. You disagree. After all, he was lazing around in bed for most of the morning. So how are you going to split the money fairly? Well, what we're going to do is have a look and think about how many hours you've worked. Now, you have worked for, 2 hours between 10 and 12. And then 2 hours after Bob got up and worked with you, so you've worked for 4 hours. Meanwhile, Bob, who was in bed all morning, got up at 12 and he only worked for 2 hours. So we can represent this using a ratio. So there's you, and there's Bob. You worked for 4 hours, while Bob only worked for 2. Now, you've been given £30 to share out. So what we're actually doing here is we're doing the question, share £30, the amount you've been given, in the ratio (4 to 2), because that's the ratio of the hours that you've worked. So it's only fair that if you've worked for twice the time, you get twice the money. So what we do then is we work out how much money you get per hour. So altogether, you've worked 4 hours and Bob's worked 2 hours. So that's 6 hours altogether that you've worked. So if we take this £30 that you've been given and divide that by 6, that's going to give us the amount that you get per hour of work. So 6 hours of work is £30, so 1 hour of work is going to be 30 divided by 6, which is £5. So you're being paid £5 an hour. So that means, going back to our original ratio, there's you, there's Bob. You did 4 hours and Bob only did 2. So that means that you should get, for 4 hours, 4 lots of £5, which of course is £20. And Bob, who has worked 2 hours, should get 2 lots of £5, which is going to be £10. Now that seems much fairer because you work for twice as long and you've got twice the amount of money. Now just to check that we've not lost any money on the way, you are given £20, Bob is given £10, and this adds up to the £30 that you were originally given. So that we know we haven't lost any money along the way. That's the idea of ratio. It's splitting something into fair amounts depending on how many shares each person gets.